Alright, we're going to go ahead and run the i4 cross plane on 2 air compressors at 100 psi. It's a great idle. Idle's around 300 RPM. And it rounds out to around 6,000. Alright, as you know, let's talk about it. Alright, so we got the variable valve design there. We got the flywheel that I've been running on all of my engines. This is I believe it's a 72 gram flywheel. Got the Zoomy headers on there, a little engine stand. This is meant to be plugged, but it doesn't really matter, I found. I'm not actually generating crankcase pressure like I thought I was, because of the hole right there. I forgot that I added. So this was meant to be designed to create a negative pressure, a vacuum inside of the crankcase like a normal engine would. But I haven't got that far yet and it doesn't work, so I just leave this open for oiling. But that gives you direct access to the crankcase, and so you can get some oil in there. Likewise, when you are rotating the engine, the way that the exhaust port is located is able to not only exhaust out air, but it also, when the piston comes back up, it gives a little bit of an opening for the crankcase to leak to go out as well. So I think that's another reason why I'm not able to actually create a vacuum inside the crankcase yet. But yeah, lots of crazy stuff. We're running 2 air compressors into this right now, and it goes from a 2 to a 4. And the 2nd and 4th piston are being ran by the 1st compressor, and the 1st and 3rd are being ran by the 2nd compressor, and that's because this is a cross plane. So the firing order is 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, to be able to keep everything, because maybe they're not at the exact same pressure. So just in case, I wanted to keep equal lateral load across the engine. But yeah. That's what she sounds like, and now I'm about to show you what this one sounds like, which is the Grandmaster engine. This is the final form of an air piston engine. This is after a year of experimenting and trying different things, prototyping, and I think this is where it's going to stay. I've reduced the cylinder diameter down, I've increased piston size, I've changed the height, the deck size, dwell time, crank rod ratios, just everything. And this one at this point is where it needs to be. So the way that I ended up doing this is, at first I chased high RPM, which inevitably was a bad decision. And then what I did is I chased power, and rather than chasing power through efficiency, I chased just pure power. So now that I've got this at going around 10,000 RPM, and it's got about 12 watts of power, 12 to 13 watts of power. Now I'm needing to look at efficiency. So, because running these big engines with a lot of cylinders requires a lot of CFMs, and you don't get a lot of those when you're trying to run something in mobile environments like a car, like an RC car or something. So now I'm going to be working on efficiency, and that will be the last thing. With efficiency will come high RPM as well, or just power in general, power and RPM. So I should have looked at efficiency first and then maybe went towards power, but I did power first, and now I know what generates power, what the optimal footprint is for these engines. For, basically like a 6mm tube and 8mm ball valve, There's limitations that are at bay here, so I can only go so far, but I think that this is as far as I can go. So yeah, we're going to be basically taking this engine and putting it, basically making a new i4 out of 4 of these. And yeah, it's going to be sick. So let's go ahead and fire this one up, and you guys can see what the single cylinder in its final form sounds like. Stay tuned.